so I can't confirm this, and I'm pretty sure that it's wrong. Like this implication, I think my
Okay.
cat might be a pothead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I'm like giving my cat weed, obviously, because I don't condone people that like blow smoke into their pets' faces. I think it's a really messed up thing to do, because they already have like high sensitivity to like compared to us. So to give them weed would be, I don't know how that would be for them. I don't know. So don't do that first of all. But what I'm thinking is either that or she just like knows when I'm high, and she's just like a cool, like she's just like checking on me, like making sure I'm cool, like I'm good. Because I could be outside for hours, like on my laptop working or something, like doing something, reading, and nowhere in sight is this cat. Her name's Lucy. Nowhere in sight. And I'll go inside and I'll grab my weed, and then I'll bring it outside, and like as soon as I get a lighter and just like all of a sudden just meow, just from like from the side, just come around the, oh, she's like, oh hey, what's up?
Maybe
What's
you're
up,
just
kid?
nicer to her when you're high, so when she smells that, she think, "Oh, I'm going to get treats or
Always
pets."
nice. I think what it, no, first of all, I'm always nice to my cats. I love Lucy. I think what it is because I'm sitting down usually when I'm smoking, and she likes to sit on my lap.
Mm.
I think she knows maybe when I'm like when I'm doing that, when I have that stuff, like maybe she can smell it. Uh, that she knows I'm gonna be sitting down for like a time, like for a certain, like for a length of time, and
Yeah,
then she like comes to chill. But
yeah.
I wish
Well,
I
I
could be like
mean,
just hang out anytime.
yeah, I mean, out of all the pets, though, out of like the more common household pets, cats are definitely the druggies of the pet world. Like they have catnip, and they get fucked up
That's
off of
true.
that.
Yeah, that's the thing that they get aggressively high. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. No, they're tweakers, dude. And seriously,
Yeah,
they have tweaker behavior. I mean, think about it. Like when you want to go up and hang out with a cat, depending on the time, it doesn't want to do it. Same thing with tweakers, If you go up to a tweaker, they might not be having it. They might hiss at you like, and just like,
oh
okay,
yeah,
my bad, my bad. I was just,
yeah.
seeing how it's
They get
going.
really fixated on like one toy when they're on
Yeah.
catnip. They're just
Yeah.
like either one of those like,
Especially keys.
oh yeah,
Tweakers and cats alike. They love jingling keys and
yeah.
babies too. Babies are just mini tweakers,
Cats
really.
love babies. They love to just get their claws on them whenever
They're
they
all,
can.
yeah. Yeah.
Whenever they
They're
can.
all the same. All the
No,
same.
well, I'm pretty sure I could be wrong about this, but I don't think you're supposed to give cats weed. I don't think it's like poisonous to cats, but I think like not a very large amount of it could
I'm sure.
be dangerous. But I'm not. Again, I'm
I
just
I
thinking. I
wonder.
don't know if
I
that's
don't
true.
even know if they just ate it like the plant form. I don't know if that would do anything because that doesn't necessarily do anything for like humans.
Well, it might
You
be
know.
something in the cat's like
Yeah, and it could be. I mean, it could be
genes or something
something
like that.
like. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure. Because if you know, let us know. Because I again, I'm gonna reiterate. I'm not giving because it's my weed, right? I worked for it to buy it. She didn't do nothing. She gives me comfort and love, but that's, she's not paying for weed. She's not getting any. So if she's trying to like mooch her way to it, I can spot that coming from a mile away. I shut it down.
Yeah, not a
Like at any
fan.
time, if I'm like smoking, just sitting out there, got like well, I got like Bob Marley playing, right? I'm making my dreads because I'm smoking weed, right? I got my colorful sunglasses on and my tie dye shirt. That's like way too loose. It's basically like a tablecloth with a hole in
And
the
you're
middle.
also praying to the devil because you smoke weed.
That's right. Smoking that
Yeah.
devil's lettuce. But any time during that, and she's like on my lap, like chilling. If at any point she like looks at me and then like her paw goes like this, like she wants the, like she goes like, I'm gonna throw her off my lap. Cause no,
Yeah. I don't like when pets are needy, man.
yeah. And then again, don't blow smoke, weed smoke in pets' eyes. That's mean.
Or like cigarette smoke.
Oh yeah, any
Or like
smoke.
spit like chewing tobacco in their face.
Don't
That's
fuck
probably
with
not cool.
don't fuck with your dogs and cats and pets.
Definitely
Any
don't
pets.
feed them alcohol. That's not good, and
No,
that
that's not cool.
definitely does damage.
How would you feel if like your dog suddenly like came up to you and like blew a bunch of smoke in your face? You'd be like, "Fuck this dog! I'm out of
I'd
here."
be like, "Oh, bro, where'd you get that?"
you get that skunky monkey, kid?
Oh my god, let's call Shaggy and Scooby, and we got a mystery on our hands.
Or like Blue's Clues. It'd be fun
Yeah.
if you like gave your dog weed and he became like Blues from Blue's Clues. He would like get turned into a cartoon dog.
Yeah, that'd be cool though.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I was actually just watching a YouTube video. It's like a couple years older because work has been slow, and so like there's nothing else to do at work really. And
That's good.
and freaking they were talking about how like the first Steve from Blue's Clues, the original guy,
Right.
gave like a couple years ago gave out that speech about like the kids going to college, and like all of those
Yeah.
guys were like slightly younger than us, maybe like the oldest one is your age and then they're younger than you too. And so
Yes.
they were like, oh my god, it was just so sad. I was like, bro, I don't even think any of you guys watched Steve. Like I feel like
I remember Steve.
I remember watching Steve too, but I'm also 30. Like I'm old.
Yeah.
Um and like I remember when the switch happened. Maybe I was weird for watching Clues in middle school, but like that wasn't that long ago.
It's a good educational kids show. Who cares? Mason,
Dude, I
Mason, there are adults that are older than you, possibly twice your age, right? So which means they're elderly, uh, that are watching kids shows all the time. Like adult men and women, I'm not gonna exclude, with like those like the bronies, right? Which is My Little Pony, which is a kids show. Which is they do
yeah,
they I mean they're I
that's a
mean
big
but
community
like
actually.
you don't watch Blue's Clues anymore, do you?
No.
See exactly. So like at some point, it's like if you keep watching that for long enough, it be like the ultra kid, like where it's actually like a kids show, kids show. I think it becomes like a weird perverse thing.
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah. Let's not even get to the bronies, man, because it's a strange
Yeah,
community. More props to you though, because like it's a very faithful community for sure. Like they are die hard.
yeah.
Um,
Everyone's got to
but
find
it's
their thing,
concerning.
man. You got to find your thing.
Dude, I do remember quite a bit though in like middle school or maybe even like edging towards high school. I would go over to my buddy Michael's house, and his like youngest sister was like elementary maybe at that
Ye-
point in time, and so she would always watch Dora, and so every now and then Michael and I would watch Dora
Yeah,
with her,
dude.
and we like, dude, Dora just gets into the wackiest
Dude,
situations,
it's
man.
crazy.
Oh yeah,
Swipe or no swiping.
yeah,
I
that's a good
loved watching
character,
it.
dude. Also, I think so now that I'm dating and my girlfriend has a 7-year-old, like I'm watching a lot of older cartoons that I watched as a kid.
Congrats, dude.
Thank you.
Congrats.
And dude, SpongeBob. So like he
Sick.
loves SpongeBob, and
Yeah, dude.
I love SpongeBob. I will watch any episode of SpongeBob except like after season 5 or something. But
My
anyway,
4-year-old nephew is he's getting into SpongeBob right now. He is like so into it. I'm like, yes, let's do it.
dude, seriously, go rewatch one of those. Like, what are the best episodes that
Yeah,
like that you know a lot,
I did
and
yesterday.
just tell. Okay, did you think it sped up the episode itself? Like,
Like
I've
the
noticed, like, it seems like punchlines and stuff. There's no space in between them. Like,
oh
like, hey Patrick, you know what's funnier than 23 or 24?
what?
25. But that whole interaction was like,
It's
hey,
no
you know
like
what's funnier than 24? What? 25. That's
oh
there was like
really?
no like it that's how it felt
Interesting.
like. Like maybe I'm just like way
Hmm.
out of touch, but I feel like they've sped up like
Hmm.
children's cartoons to make them,
Uh,
I don't know.
do you watch modern cartoons? Because I have a question. Do you do,
Depends on the
do other
cartoon
do
maybe.
modern cartoon like kids shows? Do they do the 2 episodes like per episode like sort of thing?
Kind No, dude, no. There's some of them are only like 5 or 10
Because I know
minutes long.
Disney Channel like never really did that. They were always like
No.
half hours. But like Cartoon Network had a lot of like all of like Ed, Ed and Eddie,
Yeah. Well, that's
Dexter's
how SpongeBob
Laboratory,
is.
yeah, SpongeBob, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Those were all like two like 11, 12 minute
Yeah.
like shorter episodes within it, which was awesome because it was like you were watching so much more than you really were. I guess it's
Yeah.
kind of maybe why they did it.
But I mean, no, from what I've noticed, like just like the kids section on Netflix, like most of the kids stuff is only like an episode is like 5 to 10 minutes long,
Hmm,
and then it goes on to the next episode.
weird.
I don't know, man. I think we were gifted like the right age of like cartoons. Like
Oh yeah,
we
yeah.
had the peak of like
We
actual
had the
good
peak.
cartoons that were like they were weird, but they were still cool and like not just like what's a good word? Brain damaging, you know?
They
Like
weren't, or they were.
they weren't, I felt like I felt like a lot of them had like plot and stuff to them, but like a
Mm.
lot of kid stuff now is just flashing lights and fast actions.
Oh yeah, it's just bullshit. But then
Yeah.
again, we are also adults. You're
Yeah.
30. You're officially like you've passed. Like you're an adult now, technically. I still got a couple of years left,
Yeah.
or more. I'll never
Dude,
reveal.
you
It's
know what I
time.
was just thinking? I am in a 2 or 3 years, I am going to be half the age of my parents.
What?
In 2 to 3 years, I'm going to be half the age of my parents. So I'm 30. I turned 31 this year.
Okay.
So times two would be 62. My parents are a little bit older than that. So when I'm like 34, times two is 68. And that's going to be roughly around their
No,
age,
that's
which is weird
true.
because like
Yeah, that's
they had
true.
me in their 30s. So like this would be the first time I've ever been half their age.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Because at 15, yeah, that's right. Because
Yeah,
you're
they
all
would have
getting
been like,
older at the same time. That's
yeah,
the tricky thing about time. We're all moving through it at the same time.
yeah.
Which is like I
Math
wish
is
it.
just weird.
Sometimes it's like I wish we weren't all moving at the same time. And some theories are out there that we're not, but we're not going to get into Here's what we
Oh,
should get into. It's path number 109 of Mellow Brick Road. We're
oh
here.
yeah,
Trace is on vacation, and I'm
nice.
here with Mason. It's me, Van. I'm the one talking.
I'm Mason. I wasn't talking until I am now, so I'm me.
Perfect. We have big news, Mason. We have some dropping news to
What is it?
pick up and then show to the rest of the
Just
people.
tell me what the
And
news is.
it's not political. It has nothing to do with politics. Yay! We're not out of that yet. I mean, there's probably gonna be a lot more
Yeah, we'll
politics
never
stuff,
be
but
out of that.
yeah.
Oh, before we just
But yeah.
completely get off the politics talk,
Okay, okay, go ahead. Bring it into the show. We already mentioned
did
it.
you
We said it
did
three
you
times.
see in one of Trump's speeches how he said that if you vote for me this time, you'll never have to vote for a president
Dude,
again?
I did see that. That was fucking
Did
crazy,
you see
dude.
all the memes? All the memes are like, "Uh oh, he said the quiet part out loud."
Dude, that was insane to hear. I did not like hearing that.
I
Now, did you
saw that.
also see though that
Hmm.
once again he has proven that he is not good at following the rules? Because Mason, what is the rule when you go into Claire's and you get a piercing?
Oh, you can't bandage it up.
You're supposed to keep it they put a little thing in there to keep it like the hole open, right? And he came out without that bandage on. I didn't see nothing there. Like that's you're supposed to keep something in there so the hole doesn't close, Trump.
Yeah,
What are you doing? All right.
yeah.
Are we ready to move out of this
Yeah, yeah.
politics now?
So well, I'm sure we'll talk about politics some other time. I just thought that was a crazy thing to say. I don't care what side you're on. That is a
Yeah.
crazy thing to say.
Crazy.
That is a
Crazy.
crazy thing. That
Yeah.
is that is insinuating like some kind of dictatorship or something. That's all I'm saying. Okay, we're done. We're done. We're done.
Yeah,
We're
we're
done.
moving on. Holy cow. Um let's talk about breakdancing in the Olympics. Okay? It
Is that a
hasn't
thing?
started yet. We
Oh,
haven't yeah, we talked about did you not talk we talked about that last week, didn't we? We've talked about
oh
this.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Breakdancing
yeah.
in the Olympics.
And that
It's one of the
video
new
can be found
sports.
right here or
Oh
up
my god.
there or
Either
over
way.
there.
Somewhere over there. Yeah, breakdancing. They're bringing it in the Olympics, and I had a lot of questions about
Yeah.
that. they're doing these like one-on-one battles. Um,
Oh,
yeah, it's like a one-on-one type of
so it's
situation.
not like a floor routine in gymnastics where
No,
you
no,
get
no, no,
graded
no.
on
This is
that.
like on a stage, both teams on either side, and it's like one person goes, does their routine, their throwdown, which is about a minute long, and then as soon as they step off, the other person on the other team is gonna like start their routine, and they're being judged on points. That's how they're being scored, and it's best of
Oh, but
three who
nice.
wins the breakdown, or
Okay,
yeah,
cool. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I
yes.
was about to say like you could just get matched up with like the person who's going to win, and you could like still be really good, but then lose first round. I think that sucks. But
Yeah, and here's something that also is really interesting that I didn't consider, but it does elevate it to like, oh, after reading all these rules, I'm okay with it being in the Olympics. I'm like, okay, I get it. This is pretty impressive stuff. Unlike figure skating or gymnastics, there's no practiced routine. It's all improv. The athletes don't
oh,
know the music they'll be dancing to beforehand,
oh,
right?
that kind of sucks though.
No, that's awesome because it's all
It's
improv.
cool. It's
That's
cool,
impressive.
but dude, like you, an improv performance will
No, it's
never be
break.
as cool as a staged
It's
performance.
breakdancing. It's breakdancing.
I know, but you could
This is
do a
kind of
lot of
like it
cool
makes it kind of
stuff
like,
if you
but it makes
have
it more
time.
like it's like the skateboarding with freestyle, right? You can kind of do whatever you want. It's all for building points. That's what it's all about. And it's gonna be like there's 16 teams for men and women's, and they're being split into four groups of four. So like one team will face against the other three in their group, like one on one, right? And then it'll go into the quarterfinals, which is like the top 8 teams, and then it'll go to the top four, and then top two, winner takes gold. It's gonna be very, very cool. The different moves they have are kind of interesting. I've just been learning a lot about breakdancing today, and it's been kind of fun. So they got there's four different
Categories.
performances, like
Oh,
moves, I
okay.
guess. I'm trying to think of like the right way to say it. And there was four categories of moves, I should say. There's top rock, which is those are moves that you do while you're standing. Uh, and then there's down rock, which is stuff that's when you're on the ground. More like kicks and leg
Like the
swings, stuff like
spinnies.
that. Well, there's power. Yes, like spinning your legs and stuff. But power moves are basically like full body spins. Those like real crazy, like front flip, back handspring, kind of like full one arm twist thing on your head. One of those things. And then there's freezes, which is just like when you're like doing a crazy 360 backflip and you just like grab your hand on the floor, you just hold it for a second, and then you drop. So they're judging them on those, and there's 5 categories of the judging criteria:
Okay.
technique, vocabulary. I'm not too sure what that means. Probably like the moves that you're doing. Like if they probably have like a move, like a list of all the moves that breakdancers do, or moves that you can do. Like how skateboarding has like, oh, dude, you just did like an ollie or a kickflip or a switch, like fifty
Yeah,
fifty
I
slide. I think it's
guess.
like maybe one of those, like a trick. Not like a list that they could do, but just like
I wonder if that's its own thing in the beatboxing or not the beatboxing in the what are we talking about?
breakdancing.
Breakdancing world because that's
Yeah.
such a weird thing to, because
Or
like if you
breaking is
say
what they're
that,
calling it.
oh, okay. Because like if you were wanting to use that, like vocabulary I guess would work, but like I feel like vernacular would be a better word to use.
Hmm.
Um, and I just feel like that's such a weird thing to say. I want to know what vocabulary means in
Yeah. We
breakdancing.
can look it up.
Okay,
Vocabulary. Let's see. There's also execution,
nice.
musicality, and originality. And I can't wait. I think now and oh yeah. Okay, so let me show you these sliders. So during the one-on-one break breakdowns or battles, yeah, there we go. I forgot the word. During the one-on-one battles, they have these sliders in front of them. I don't know if you'll be able to. Okay, look. Okay, so it's sort of like that. It's two. Dang it! Come on. Okay, so you got one breaker on one side and the other breaker on the other, right?
Uh-huh.
And and then there's those little dials in the middle. So it's basically
Okay.
like a Skyrim slider, right? Hey, you can like move it from one side to the
Yeah.
other. And so there's 6 sliders one for each of the judging categories criteria, and then the top one is like the percentage of like who is winning overall. So during the battle, the judges are going to say, okay, so breaker one is doing like better technique, so I'm going to slide this over here like 10%. Okay, and this one has better originality, I'm going to move this over. And like those like movements in those bottom 5 categories, I guess those will change the top slider to like who's doing better like percentage wise. So like the bottom 5 percentages will get added up, and then there will be like, oh, breaker 2 is doing better by like 20% or something, and they win. So that's like kind of how they're going off it. It's interesting.
Okay. All right. Well, I couldn't find vocabulary in common
Sorry.
breakdancing. It's just such a weird term. Like, what are they? Do they have to spell too? Like, I don't understand
I
that one.
feel like it's probably just like it's probably like the amount of moves that you're able to do in your minute. You know what I mean? It's probably like your like you know a lot of moves that you can do really quickly within a minute. That's probably what that means. I would think.
Okay. It's going to drive me up a ball.
Well, you watch the Olympics breakdancing, and you'll probably learn. I'm kind of excited about breakdancing now. I was confused about it, why it was in there, but now that I kind of understand it, like most things, once I opened my mind and understood it from its perspective, I'm like, oh, okay, now I understand. Very cool.
Yeah.
And another question I had was about what they have to wear. Breakdancers.
I think they have to wear baggy clothes.
Street clothes, or is it more like leotards, like in gymnastics? That would be interesting.
That's going to throw. That's.
I think it's. I think
just
they just
looking
wear
up
like.
common terms, and the one term I will say that fits that is whack. That's a whack thing. You don't want to do that.
That's straight up whack, yo.
Yeah, that was one of the things. It was like 13 common terms, and at the very bottom, it's just like whack.
Nice.
I was like, I wonder what that means. And it's like anything that's not acceptable. It's like, oh, okay.
I think it's all like matching clothes. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's like but I think it's like matching like just like a shirt or a jersey or something that they can wear. But then everything else they can just wear whatever it seems like. I
Yeah.
watched like a prelim or like I guess it was maybe a trials, like Olympic trials of breakdancing in Africa.
It was on trial.
No. The Olympic trials. They were doing breakdancing to see which of those African teams would go to the Olympics.
Mm.
Yeah. Not an actual like court trial. Although
That'd
I did
be
see the
funny.
new Jeff Daniels limited series on Netflix called All Men, or not All Men, A Man in Full is what it's called. And there is a hard dick in that.
What? It shows an erect penis?
An erect penis, man.
I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't know either, but I was watching it with my dad, and it was like 9 a.m. Just straight up, he was like, phew, and it was just, I mean, it was aggressive, man. I was not ready for that.
That's crazy, man. I mean,
He took like 4 Viagra before that scene. It was crazy.
yeah, I mean, I don't think I would have to watch the scene to realize if it's necessary or not. But I feel like it's not necessary.
I mean, yeah.
Was he sad or something?
No, he was quite angry. He was quite angry.
Oh, he popped an anchor boner. That
No. He was banging this dude's ex-wife, Jeff Daniels' ex-wife. This guy was like little. I'm kind of spoiling it. He's like a little like bug. Like Jeff Daniels calls him a bug. He's like, not a bug anymore, am I?
Here's the thing. If anyone
dick in here, well, because he's like big red dog. He's like, so you're the big red dog, and then he was like, and it was just like, whoa, and he was like, Jeff Daniels was like, it's impressive.
Wait, Jeff Daniels was in there too?
Yeah, he's the guy looking at the dick, because he's the ex-husband.
Okay.
So you're
they're dating.
Dog, because big red dog implies a big penis.
No,
right?
I got you.
So he's like, yeah, I'm big red dog, and you're watching. You're like, holy shit, yeah, that guy's big red dog. Big red dong, am I right? Anyway, let's talk about what happened at Comic-Con yesterday. At the time of this recording.
Comic-Con yesterday.
Well, there was a bunch of Doctor Dooms that walked on stage, and one of them was Robert Downey Jr.
Dude, I'm so pumped.
I really wanted Trace on here. I want as many people on here in this conversation as possible, because this is such an interesting conversation to have.
I just think Yes. Like I can't find anything wrong with that, you know?
Overall, everyone is stunned. I don't know. When I
And the
was
way
reading the
he
when I
did
was
it,
reading the IGN article and they were like, "Do you think Marvel's casting of Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom was a good idea? Yes or no?" I did hit no, and it was
you'd
the
think so.
majority answer. I just think it's a
Why?
weird choice. I just think it's
Why?
weird. Why?
Why?
Because I feel like
Why?
they're gonna do a Tony Stark variant of Doc. That's gonna be like an evil Tony Stark that becomes Doctor Doom, and I think that's so fucking offensive to the
Why can't he
character
just be
of Doctor Doom.
Victor Von Doom or whatever his name is?
Doctor Doom is such an icon. Is one of the greatest fiction characters ever created.
Yeah.
He's so cool and
Right.
good,
Okay.
and
Yeah, he's not good.
I think that Robert Downey Jr. is too distracting to play this character honorably. That's what I think.
I don't know. I think that's no, I don't think that's a
Because he's
good
perfect
take.
as Tony Stark. You look at Robert Downey Jr.,
Right.
you go, "That's Tony Stark."
Right.
But I feel like if you see him as Victor Von Doom, you're gonna go, "That's Robert Downey Jr." or "That's Tony Stark." It's so crazy that he's in this movie as Victor Von Doom, the
Maybe.
bad guy, because he looks just like Iron Man. I just
Yeah.
feel like that's such a he's too distracting. I think it's here's what I think happened. Here's what I think happened because now it's not Avengers Kang Dynasty or
Right.
whatever. Now it's Avengers Doomsday, which
Nice.
also I don't like the title because uh, Superman Doomsday is a really big comic book in DC, and I just think it's kind of weird because leave Doomsday to DC. Like let them have the Doomsday title. It's theirs. It's a very iconic, one of the most iconic comic books ever. Call it just call it something else. Call it Doom Patrol, just for funsies. If you want to make fun of a DC property, call it Doom Patrol. Anyway,
No, Doom Patrol already has a TV show. They can't
I
call it
love
that.
Doom Patrol. Yeah, but Doomsday is so cool. They already ruined Doomsday, I guess. So I guess yeah, take the name away from them. They ruined it with Batman vs Superman.
I
Okay, you're
Here's
right.
the
No, no,
thing.
no. I'm right.
Yeah,
Yeah, call
DC
Avengers
had
Doomsday.
had their
You're
chance
right.
and
You're
they
right.
fucked it
I
up.
forgot Doomsday. They already did that with Batman v Superman. Okay, you're right. Yeah, Marvel, take it back. Okay, cool. Anyway, I'm on board. I'm on board with the name now. I
Here's my Go ahead.
Jonathan Majors got arrested,
He got.
convicted for the violent battery, um, stuff like that. So I think, and also the Russo brothers are back to direct this movie now. I think that Marvel, Kevin Feige, hit the "do not break unless emergency happens" glass, and got
Yeah.
back his three biggest home run hitters of the MCU:
Who are the other
Robert
two?
Downey Jr. and the Russo brothers. I
Oh,
think that's
okay.
what happened. I think they needed a strong pivot away from Jonathan Majors and all that stuff, and they were like, "Oh, here's a good distraction." Boom, Robert Downey Jr. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
here's the thing. I think you got to remember how no one, how Iron Man was not really a popular superhero until Robert Downey Jr. took up that mantle.
It's true.
And yes, that is a very distracting point of Robert Downey Jr. Everyone's going to see him and think of him as Iron Man, but bro, it's Robert Downey Jr.
No,
He's
I
not going
don't.
to do the character
I'm not.
disservice.
I'm not saying he's gonna do badly. I just think. I love Victor Von Doom. I love his origin. I love everything about that character so much. And that maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the one that's being biased. I just don't want. I just think making him a Tony Stark variant to like add to their like infinite parallel universe like thing they're doing
Yeah.
right now. I just think that is such a lazy move. That is so
And
lazy.
I hope they're not doing that. I mean,
I
I don't
Yeah.
necessarily know if they're going to do that because I mean, they've already MCU themselves have already they have two completely different Mr. Fantastics. So, I mean,
True.
like I think you could just be like, "No, this is Victor, what is his name? Victor
Victor
Von
Von
Doom."
Doom.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess we have to just see how it goes. Nothing's
And plus
announced
he's
yet.
aged a lot. I mean, he looks a little bit different. I think he's going to
He
have a
looks
different
like.
look.
Here's what I think. Here's what they could do. Okay, Victor Von Doom. He's disfigured. They could. I mean, if he's straight up just Victor Von Doom, maybe you see him in a flashback before he was disfigured. Like if you only see him with the mask on, and it's just like Robert Downey Jr. in character, like with his charisma and like acting powers under the mask and whatnot. That I'm behind that, and like
Yeah.
maybe a little bit. I just feel like if he like in the Fantastic Four movie, the first one, where like Victor Von Doom is in it for a long time before he becomes like
Right.
Doctor Doom, and it's like I don't want that. I don't want like a whole thing where like he's in the movie a ton as like himself, because
Oh yeah.
if anything, if it's gonna be confusing because the Avengers will recognize him as Tony Stark. So that could be a way they do the variant thing, or here's another opportunity. And now my brain is just firing it all all cylinders because I want this to work because I love Doctor Doom and I want a good. We've been screwed over our Doctor Doom castings, or like not castings, but just our Doctor Doom opportunities have been ruined so many times, and I just want a good, honorable Doctor Doom in the books. Just of all Marvel characters, I just want like one solid role to just like, all right, cool. If I ever want Doctor Doom in the movies, I'll just watch that movie.
Who would be your cast for Doctor Doom? Who
I
would
don't
be?
know. I don't have a cast off the top of my head. Pedro
Um,
Pascal.
yeah, that would be
He
awesome.
can do anything.
Um,
I don't know.
I don't know. I think Robert Downey Jr. would be. I think he's going to do good. I mean, there might
Yeah.
be some overshadow with that, and that's going to suck. But I hope it's not a variant thing. But if it is a variant thing, then they're definitely setting up like
Well,
the MCU turns evil or whatever.
well,
You
they
know?
have they have Secret Wars coming up because he's cast as Doomsday, or I think it. I read. Well, there's Avengers Doomsday, and then is Secret Wars. So I think those are connected. And if that's the case, because I think Doctor Doom is in both of these movies. I think he's the main baddie in both. So it could be that this Victor Von Doom is like in disguise as Tony Stark. Like he's like trying to fuck with them as like I'm a variant of Tony Stark, but really he's like
He's disfigured and actually
he's
looks nothing like
disguised
that,
as
but he
something.
just made some
Because
kind of technology to.
yeah, because there's the scrolls who can wait scrolls. Yeah, that's the name. Who can like transform and like shapeshift into like whoever, which is the whole Secret Wars thing, which is looks. I hope it's gonna be so dope. So it could be a thing like that, even though Von Doom's not a scroll alien, he's a human. He's Latverian. I want Latveria in the movie. I want Latveria. It's just a fun
Well,
dynamic to his character.
if Robert Downey Jr. does good, he's going to stay in there for sure. So
I just,
hopefully, I mean,
man, I don't know.
you can't get rid of Doctor Doom,
I just
especially if you're
really,
making if
there's so
you're
much you can do with him.
yeah,
There's
if
so
you're
much.
concentrating this next phase around the Fantastic Four and maybe the like the X-Men, I don't know.
I just
Um
Victor Von Doom is so fun because he can do like really fun sci-fi stuff with like the Fantastic Four and the Avengers, and he can have like all that like Iron Man style, like a lot of gadgets and shit, like robots and stuff. But also he knows a lot about like occult knowledge and magic. He's actually he actually knows like sorcery and stuff like Doctor Strange. I actually have a book, Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange, and it's like their origin about how Doctor Doom was actually part of the trials that Doctor Strange took to become the Sorcerer
the
Supreme.
Sorcerer Supreme.
Doctor Doom almost became the Sorcerer Supreme, but he was beat out by Doctor Strange. It's such a good story. So Doctor Doom can like fight with magic. He can fight with Doctor Strange. He can fight with the gods like Thor and all them. If you do the like the Marvel's Ultimate Alliance game, that he was the bad guy and he like steals a bunch of stuff from Odin, which is so cool. He starts like a big war between Asgard and all
No,
these
he's a
people.
big baddie.
He's a big dude. He's one of the biggest baddies.
He's not just a Fantastic Four like villain. He's not like a
No, he's just like their
Doc
main
Ock
baddie.
with Spider-Man,
Right.
Like yeah, it's
Yes.
he
He
messes around with a
started as a
lot of
mystery.
people.
He started as like a Doc Ock, and then he like
Yeah.
expanded because Von Doom has such a thirst for knowledge and power.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the
He's
greatest
so
supervillain.
cool. I just like
Is he your favorite villain?
he might be in the MCU. He might be my favorite villain. I also, when I was a kid, I used to really love the Chameleon, who was a really like D level Spider-Man villain, who could like shapeshift. Not shapeshift, like he like where he'd run around a corner and then he'd like look like someone else, and Spider-Man would be like, "Where'd he go?" And I was like, "Oh, it's so cool. He can just like get away from real fast."
Yeah.
But no,
I think mine's Magneto.
Magneto's so cool.
I really like I like his origin story. I think that
Yeah.
his origin story just creates supervillains, and I think
Oh
that's
yeah,
just
I like his
and
whole like
like
philosophy is like crazy.
yeah,
He's
and
so
he's just like
stoic.
no, mutants are definitely the superior race, and so we're going to wipe everyone else out. I'm like, "Ugh, you lost me at the
Damn.
last part, but I agree on the
Yeah.
first part. I
Yeah.
think you guys are better.
He's the Malcolm X to Professor Xavier's Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, and it's a cool power.
Very cool.
It's a very cool, useful power. It's not really that overpowered. It's a very simple thing.
I would love to see Magneto sent back in time. You know, like like pre-industrial revolution, where like metal is like still underground and like in rocks and stuff, and to see him like pull up these giant boulders from underground, and that'd be crazy.
That would be cool. Dude,
I'd pay to see that.
he actually created Egypt or something.
I can't wait for the X-Men movies to come out. I hope like
I
the
hope they're
X-Men stuff is
good,
gonna be
man.
so good.
I hope they're good. It's
Did
that's
you see Deadpool and Wolverine? Because I have not seen
no,
it yet.
I
Okay.
haven't either.
Okay,
It's
cool.
and I there's no reason to rush it because I know it's going to be good.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
was worried about coming on here with like Trace and all them because and
did Trace
'cause
watch it?
I I think he did, and he kind of sent like a really weird cryptic text of like how good it was. He was just like, amazing. It's you have to see it. I was
Yeah,
like,
I
you're freaking out right now. Calm
here's the
down.
thing. I think I've cried in every Deadpool movie, and I feel like this is going to be the saddest one
I was telling my
because it
sister
has
about
Hugh
this.
Jackman.
Yeah, because she was like, why aren't you gonna go see it right now? I was like, well, I'll see it eventually. Don't get me wrong. I'm just like, I don't like, especially with a big movie like Deadpool and Wolverine, where there's like where it's definitely the third in a franchise, so there's a bunch of like diehard fans, right?
Right.
And I love Deadpool and Wolverine. I love Deadpool. I love Wolverine. I love their comics. Love the movies. So good. I feel like I wouldn't enjoy the movie if I was in a giant room full of the like diehard people,
Yeah,
because I don't like I don't know. I like to talk during movies,
me
make my
too.
little stupid. But I was raised on Mystery Science Theater 3000, so I'm an asshole that way.
Yeah.
Um, and but I don't like when people like when the whole theater goes oh, or like everyone's like when a character comes on screen, everyone goes yeah, all right,
Oh,
here he is.
dude,
You're
I
like, dude,
hate that.
you're like, shut up. What are you
Yeah. He
doing? Or
can't
like
hear you clap.
yeah, and like someone was like, no, don't do it. Oh no, and everyone, oh my, I'm just like, stop, just shut up, shut the fuck up, please. Let me just watch this movie.
Also,
That's me.
another thing that's super exciting about movies in general nowadays, theaters are too expensive. They are
Yeah.
too expensive nowadays. Dude, uh me and my girlfriend went and watched a movie last week. Two tickets, two large sodas and a large popcorn, $55.
Holy cow. You know what's crazy? I was thinking about this too. I have a couple problems with like massive film franchises, and this is coming from I saw like a thing I was watching the Olympics on Peacock. They had like a little ads everywhere. It was like a 10-second thing of the new Mission Impossible like Dead Reckoning movie, and all it was a very extreme close up of Tom Cruise's face, and then like a quick cut of him of that motorcycle, like fucking motorcycle scene of him doing that motorcycle thing off the cliff that they've been showing to us for like a year and a half. I feel like, and then someone was like, "This time, it's deadly," or something like that, and then it just like went away, and I don't even remember if I saw. I think yeah, it must have said Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning at the end, but that was it. And it was like that wasn't even. I have no idea what that movie's about. Like I've seen all the Mission Impossible movies. I don't know what that movie's about. Why? What about that trailer makes me want to see it other than Tom Cruise is in the movie, and there's that motorcycle jump that I've seen 1,000
And
times,
Simon Pegg's probably going to be in it.
probably. But it's like, remember when trailers used to they told you what the movie's about? Like they were like right? They're like
Yeah.
a marketing tool to get you to go in. So like they have to like hook you with like the story or something. But
This
now,
summer, you won't
yeah,
want to answer the phone.
yeah, right. But now, like especially with these massive like, by the time you get to the third movie in a big franchise, it's like you don't need to show the story in the trailer because that's not what people are gonna see it because of the third one. If you've seen the first,
Yeah,
they're basically saying you've seen the first two, fucking
yeah,
go see the third one. You already seen these. Go watch. You're gonna watch the third one. Just go watch it. You know who's in it.
yeah.
It's
I'm
weird.
sure like Fast and Furious trailers nowadays are just like, hey, we got another one coming out in October. See you there.
Yeah. See you then. The Rock, Vin Diesel. Look at now. Charlize Theron's in it. How about that? Pretty cool.
Yeah, I watched the first movie that she was in.
Oh, is
I
she actually
started.
in those movies?
I don't know which one I watched. It was when we were in the Bahamas and we were
She's
just
in the
like
Bahamas. Oh,
wait
you're in the
no,
Bahamas.
no. So yeah, we were just
Okay.
waiting for like our dinner or whatever and we had you had make reservations, yada yada. It doesn't matter. So we were just waiting there just like drinking whatever and they had a movie playing and it was definitely a Fast and Furious movie because there was 100 people in it just all driving cars very stupidly and they made it work somehow. But
Yeah.
dude, it is so crazy how that movie is because there's no absolutely no need for any of the vehicles. They just throw them in. It's an action movie that they throw
Right.
vehicles into. It's just
Is
like
it? Yeah.
why?
At
There's
this
no
point,
reason.
they have to have cars. They can't not have cars in it.
Yeah.
I'm
And it's
sure.
just like okay, and so now all of these like car drivers are just like hired by like the US government or something. It's just like what is going
Oh
on?
my god, dude, there's all kinds of crazy. I tried watching Hobbs and Shaw one time because I was
This
like,
one was after Hobbs and Shaw because
oh,
those
this is
two
like it's
broke
like a
out.
side movie. It's like a side, like off the main
Yeah.
track of the movies, I guess. And I got like 5 minutes into it, and it was immediately like The Rock. Was it Michael Strahan? Strahan, and then Idris
There's
Elba
no way
shows
it was
up.
Michael. What?
Yeah, and dude, they were like fighting on top of cars, and Idris Elba was like really like super strong or something, and I kind of stopped, not because it wasn't exciting or like it wasn't hooking me. I
That'd
just
be a
didn't.
good Doctor
I
Doom.
was just lost. I had no idea what was going on, and it was like so much, just so
Yeah.
much happening at the very start. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I need to like maybe. It's another reason to where I was like, I need to go back and watch some of these movies just so like I understand who
I don't
these
think you
people
need
are.
to.
But
I don't think you need to.
I don't
I
know who the
think
Rock is. Isn't the Rock like an
yeah.
FBI agent or
The
something?
Rock was yeah, Rock was some kind of law enforcement
Or he was a
officer.
bad, but he's a bad guy too, isn't he? Or he
No,
was a
well
bad guy in
when he was a law enforcement officer, he was a bad guy in that
Mellow
movie, but he
Brick
was just doing his
Roads.
job.
Oh, okay.
And then somehow they yeah, I think at the end of that movie, I haven't seen any of these movies, so I'm
Dude, he used to
just
be. I remember
guessing.
seeing. He used to be like really, like that was when he was at his peak, like swole, where it looked like really almost like weird, and then he
Yeah.
kind of like now he's at a moment where it's like he's more uh uh
He's slender now.
slender. I'm trying to
I
think
mean
of
he's big, but like
like
he's just not as bulky anymore.
yeah, not as bulky, like so, yeah, healthier.
Yeah, he doesn't have bumps on him
It's
anymore. He's just kind
crazy.
of more like
Yeah, he did have bumps on him.
yeah,
That's funny. Uh,
the Rock, more like the
yeah.
lump.
You know what else is weird? Those how do they like sell those part one, part two movies? 'Cause I don't understand how those even
I don't know
like
what you're talking about.
you know like when they're like this like got exploding summer school part one and then it's like exploding summer school part two because it's like hey, do you want to spend $55 for a movie ticket and snacks to watch half of this movie, just half of a story, uh, and then in 3 years we'll sell you the other half of that story for only the exact same price plus inflation.
Plus some side movies that you'll have to watch so you have an idea of what actually happens in this last
Yeah.
movie.
So it's I just don't
Um,
understand like it, I mean obviously I know it makes more money because you're selling one movie but you're selling it as two, so it's like you get bored. But it's like I don't know.
what happened to 4.5 movies, man? What happened to Lord of the Rings?
I don't know.
You know,
I
I
just
mean,
it's
they did
feel
break up the Hobbit into 3 movies. That was crazy.
that was weird because Lord of the Rings is that's three books and the one each book one movie. But then
And
the
they were
Hobbit's
all good, like standalone movies. Like
they
they
really
did their
are.
job.
They really
They
are.
let you at like a
And then the
cliffhanger every
Hobbit's
time.
one book and they made it into three movies.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big book. I think it is the largest book of like the four of that like collection, but It definitely could have been condensed into two, maybe not one. There's a lot of information to put in there for one,
Yeah,
but it
they
could have
did all
been
right.
condensed into two. Like they could have got to like the mountain at the end of the first one, and then had the
Okay.
whole battle and everything in the second one, like with the dragon and with the army.
Yeah, they probably could. They added in some stuff,
Yeah,
uh,
they did. They went back to like,
which was kind of
well,
interesting.
I don't know. I haven't
It's fine.
I haven't even read the book. I read half of it in like fifth
Mm,
grade, and then it was too much.
there's a
It
lot going
was
on. Once
it
it gets to the
was
Battle of
well,
the
it was too
Five
big of
Armies, you're like,
words. It was
what?
too big of words.
Well,
This
yeah,
guy was just like,
you're in
I'm
fifth
feeling
grade.
melancholy. I was like, what does feeling mean? You
No.
know?
Good one, Mason. Good
Yeah.
one. Wow. Okay. You know what? Let's.
Oh, sorry, I'm blocking you off.
No, you're good. I was just reading the time, seeing what we have here. Hey, here's a quick little thing before we get out of here. Uh,
Okay.
Scientists think that plants are sentient now, which is
Yeah,
like,
I think
take
so.
that, vegetarians. You're just as bad
Yeah.
as us, dude.
Well, I
You think
mean, when
like
you
we're bad with like growing like people that breed cows and stuff, just like slaughterhouses and like they breed cows just to like slaughter them? That's what you're doing with your fucking garden, dude.
yeah.
Your tomato
Well, I
plants are
mean,
screaming for help, dog.
dude, so there's so much sign of like intelligent life in plants though, because one, when you mow grass, the smell that you smell, fresh
That's
cut grass,
crazy.
that's the pheromones that they're producing to warn
To
other
warn others.
grasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
And
hey, there's these large spinning things that are cutting our heads off.
to communicate with roots and stuff. Like
Yeah.
when if one plant is like trees can like grow like, if they're competitive, they can like grow really tall and block out shade for other trees below them, and then that tree will like move grow in a different direction to
Yeah.
like get other sunlight. It's really crazy,
Yeah.
and they say that they have light receptors all over their whole body, like for picking up sunlight and stuff. And we only have light receptors in the back of our retinas with our
Mm,
eyes, right? So they have that all over their entire body.
that's neat.
And I think I saw a video once. If I did, I'll put it right up here. Really kind of graphic, so get ready. Of a plant like breathing.
Nice.
I think it's just like an opening inside the plant, like when oxygen like comes in,
Oh
it's just like
yeah. Yeah.
really weird. Uh, it's interesting that I don't know. So it seems like it seems to me that when a thing is alive, like categorically alive, it's sentient, even
Yeah.
if it's not the same as us. Clearly, it's
It's very
still
smart in its own ways.
yeah, yeah. Even though
Also,
it's not the same as like it doesn't like look at us and blink like a dog would, but plants are very much active in what
yeah.
they do. It's weird,
Dude, speaking of plants, and I love how plants make oxygen and stuff. That's cool. That's
That's
really cool.
so
But
sick of
guess
them.
what? They are obsolete now because they found rocks at the bottom of the ocean that produce oxygen.
What?
Rocks.
Like a Sonic video
Rocks.
game?
Like a non living thing producing oxygen at the bottom of the ocean.
You're gonna have to elaborate. Do you have more information on this?
Yes, it was on I think it was on like the news app like last
Reddit?
week. No, like on your iTunes news app. Um
iTunes news app?
yeah, you know the news tab on your iPhone?
No.
It's on the very front page. It comes on every iPhone. It says news
I don't
and
I don't have that on my iPhone. A news
yeah,
tab on my iPhone.
yes. Hold on. I'm
I have a
oxygen
notification center. Oh, you mean
oxygen.
like if I scroll left? No, because that's just
No, it should be
calendar,
on your first one.
photos.
Rocks.
No, I mean if I did, I deleted it because I can find my own news. I don't need iTunes
Dark
telling me what news.
oxygen discovered in the deep sea means trouble for seabed mining.
Dark oxygen is that like
That's what
the
they're
evil
calling it.
form of what's that? Is that if I breathe in dark oxygen, am I gonna turn evil?
I don't know. So
What
what
does
is
that
dark
mean?
oxygen? Um, in the total darkness of the very deep ocean, around 4,000 meters below the surface of the Pacific Ocean, oxygen is being produced in the dark. It's previously been thought that oxygen on Earth is produced on land and at the surface of the ocean, where sunlight makes plant photosynthesis possible. Um, these microscopic organisms produce that's just plankton and stuff.
Wait, so is it just is dark oxygen just oxygen that's made in the dark?
Yeah, it's just
That's
there's
all.
no
So
light.
it's oxygen though.
Yes,
Does
but
oxygen need light to be oxygen, like
that's
normal
what they
oxygen?
thought until this. Like it's a very like big like
Oh.
thing. It's just like we thought there
Oh.
was no possible way for that to happen because like I guess sunlight is like
Oh, photosynthesis. And I
yeah.
understand. Okay. Well, oh. Boy, all you
Why is
need.
this so significant? Dark
Hmm.
oxygen discovery is being hailed as groundbreaking scientific discovery, but it also has other implications. The fact that we got another source of oxygen on the planet other than photosynthesis has consequences and implications that are utterly profound, some guy said. But but yeah, this broke like last week and I just saw it and I was like, dude, that's sick. And then I haven't even thought about it until we were talking about how cool plants are. I was like, yeah,
Interesting.
they're not that cool though.
Plants are very cool. And next
They are
week,
cool.
just because we don't have time for it now, even though I wanted to talk about this next week. I'm calling it right now. We're doing a Shark Week. We're doing it here. I got
Shark
some
Week.
shark
Hoo-ah.
news that is crazy, dude. They're finding all these sharks. I mean, you want to talk about? I mean, we'll talk about the. Well, you know what? We'll just save it. We'll just save it because it's gonna be crazy shark stuff. Um.
Dope.
So yeah, we'll get ready for that. Mason, let's see. Go ahead and tell everyone where they can find you online, bro. Let's
Okay,
wrap this
so
bad
where
boy
I'm
up.
at in the internet world, Instagram and Threads, Mason Greenwell 52 on there, and Instagram M Green Wee.
Your TikTok, M Greenwee.
What did I say?
Actually, you said Instagram, sir.
Oh yeah, my Tiki Taki.
So you use Threads actively?
No,
Not at all.
no, I've never posted on there once. I
Is
get
it?
on there every now and then.
Is that? Do you
I
have to have
used to
Facebook to
share.
have that?
No, you have to have Instagram. I used to share like all the like MBR like clips and stuff
Yeah.
on Threads, but now that we collab, I don't think I can do that anymore.
Huh.
Or I haven't tried. I mean, I just collab now, and then it's just good enough. I could probably still share it with Threads, but I don't think I follow anyone on Threads, and I think the only person that follows me is Kenny.
Nice. Um. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I see Threads because it's always Instagram's always telling me to get Threads. Always like get Threads. You need to get
It looks
your
like old
all your
Twitter.
friends are on Threads.
It looks like old Twitter,
I didn't
but
use
it's
old
definitely not
Twitter.
as. Oh, dude, the old Twitter was the best Twitter, just
I
like
didn't.
old Facebook was the best Facebook.
No, actually, Mason. As we're all learning today, Facebook and Twitter were never good. They never were
Twitter was
good.
good.
But
Twitter was great.
inevitably, this old Twitter is going to become Twitter as it was,
Yeah,
like 2 years ago before Elon Musk had it. And then
it's
Elon
past
Musk is
tense,
going to
so
buy
it's
Threads,
Tweeter.
and it's become that. Tweeter.
Tweeter.
They should call it.
Tweeter D and Tweeter Dumb.
You can find me on Instagram at Van Windsor. I post catch of the day every week. I go pick up trash. Mason, tragic story. I found on the side of the road a Pringles snack pack. Just sitting there all by itself, all by its lonesome. No one there to care
Unopened.
for it. It was a little bit opened, just a little bit. I think it's something that a raccoon might have gotten in there. It wasn't. It was. You could tell it was like a little bit like ripped open, but yeah, poor thing, dude. You just know someone had saw it and they really
I
wanted it and
mean,
they bought it and then they lost it.
that's what they get though. And
Yeah.
now that raccoon is bragging to his friends, like I just had the most tasty thing ever, and I thought I was going to die because it was too good, so I just left it there, and I wish I did it. I wish I did it.
I love a Pringle snack pack. This shit is good.
And then he just hears like airplanes and helicopters and then gunfire, and he just starts
It was actually
remembering.
cocaine. It wasn't a Pringle snack pack. It was cocaine laced Pringles.
Yeah.
Cocaine raccoon. And then if you want to follow the show on Instagram at mbr.pod, clips, YouTube shorts will go on there, announcements for the show, big stuff like that. If you're watching this on YouTube, what's up? Like,
What up?
comment, subscribe, hit that bell with your fist, punch your screen as hard as you can. Right now, do it. If you're still
But make
watching
sure
this,
you still like actually hit the bell.
yeah,
'Cause you
make
might
sure, yeah, before your phone breaks or your
yeah.
laptop or iPad or
Press it first and then hit it.
oh, good call, yeah, press it and then punch it to confirm. That's how you do
Yeah.
it. And then if you're watching on Spotify, what's up? Answer the poll. Good to see you. It's good to see your face. You're looking good today. Let's see. What am I missing here? We do have a Facebook. It's just Mellow Brick Road. So follow us on Facebook, basically connected to the Instagram. So I don't have Facebook personally, so I have to we have to do it in a weird. Luckily, Facebook and Instagram are connected, so everything on Instagram is on Facebook, everything on Facebook's on Instagram, so it's easy like that. You can message us on either of those, and we'll get in touch with you. You can also email us, mellowbrickroad.podcast@gmail.com, for business purposes. Really, if you have like a question or something, or like something you want us to talk about or mention or something like that, go to the DMs on Instagram. That's probably the best chance for it. Follow our Patreon, patreon.com/mellowbrickroad for more bonus content and shows. And I think that is it. We are at the end of the path, Mason Greenwell. And now is the time for the Missouri Hero of the Week. And this hero is General Omar Bradley.
I think I've heard of that name, actually.
He's very famous. He's from Clark, Missouri. He commanded the 12th Army Group in World War II, which helped ensure the Allied victory over Germany.
That's crazy.
He served in the military longer than anyone else in U.S. history at the time of me Googling him earlier today. So that I don't know if that's true. That's what Wikipedia says. So yeah, he died back in 81 in New York, but super cool dude. Apparently, super just a very good leader from what I've seen. And his quote is, "The greatness of a leader is measured by the achievements of the led. This is the ultimate test of his effectiveness."
Dude, that gave me chills. That is a good quote.
That's a very good quote. Mellow manifestations, everybody.
Stay safe out there. Ooh, I'm still chilling. Maybe it's just cold in my house.
Yeah, you might just be cold.
But it was dope. That was dope.